desktop here. I'm here with Will from Dublin. Just a great man, a man who I consider a friend. He's trustworthy, he's reliable, he's just become a part of our Man Alive experience and then gone on to our inner circle program. And mate, I love you. I thank you for coming here today, mate, and sharing part of your story, mate. What was life like, I suppose, before we met, before you got involved in the Man Alive?
Life was like, I was kind of, I hit a wall. I didn't know, like almost like a midlife crisis. I didn't know what I wanted in life. I didn't know where I was going. I always had loads of drive, and there was something missing. There was something missing, and I didn't realize it until I got into this course, to be honest,
Yeah. And I mean, mate, you say that, but I'm sure there's so many people in Dublin and in your area that would say, Will's amazing, which he is, but say you're extremely successful in business, wonderful family. Man, how, but you feel there's something missing. So I suppose, what did you hear me say? What did you see? I mean, tell us, what got you to reach out?
What got me to reach out was your story, your own personal story. It was it was very like mine. I've given up alcohol and all substance for touching on 2 years. I lost a lot of friends giving it up, and being in this group has helped me an awful lot. I was in this group for 8 months or so before I really put my heart into it. Then you lifted the phone to me one day and we had a good chat. Ever since that, I've done the work. I've put in the work. And I see the changes.
And I suppose, mate, just knowing your story, with your parents and your dad passing away, and growing up would have been challenging, And I think as men, particularly if we go back years and years and years, where we needed, or it was a part of the culture that our father our mother would raise us, our father would show us how to be a man. We've talked about, I mean, if you've listened to Will's other stories, we talk about, or other things that I've written about, we end up going the lone wolf, trying to work things out on our own.
Yeah.
And I mean, but you've been very successful in certain areas. So that can we can blindside ourselves. We can just live out of the things that we're good at, not develop the whole picture, the whole story, because there's so much more to you than being a successful builder, isn't there?
Oh, without a doubt there is, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I went the lone wolf from a very young age, and that's where I think what hit me when I came into me like 2 years ago was I didn't have that corner man. I didn't have the father figure in my life, and I didn't deal with it properly. And I think it all just, and I don't think I was honest to myself, and it didn't help me in any way at all.
When you say, mate, if I can butt in there, when you say you didn't deal with it properly, what do you mean? I
kept brushing everything under the carpet. In terms of almost like having no friends, well, not having friends, but having no best friend.
Yeah.
It goes back to when I gave up the alcohol. People that I thought were my best friends weren't the best friends. They almost piggybacked for the good times, and when the tough times came, they scattered. I personally think that this kind of, it's a bad way of explaining things, but certain aspects of the Man Alive has opened up untold other things for me to deal with, even personal issues in my life that troubled me from my past.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's probably one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because you went through in the group Man Alive that we do, and now we've created an inner circle with Man Accountable to Me, and that's I mean, you've had some great. I think you've benefited greatly from that. We've seen over the last little while.
Oh, 100%. I'm a lot better. What I find, for me, it was difficult to open up to people, and when I opened up, even on the lives, and some of the feedback I got back from it made me feel good that I was doing the right thing, and just being honest. And there is people out there, even though you don't think it, that they have walls up, but they do let them down once they realize someone else has gone through the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And mate, something that like you've had a big win, I think, and like you say, like, or maybe people are hearing me for the first time. I believe your business and your home life, it's connected. Everything's connected. You can't be successful in one area and not in the other. Like, or vice versa. So everything's connected. So one of the things that I think you've done really well, mate, and when I say you've done well, you've applied it. When we talked about in the mentorship around having peace of mind, and really that peace of mind, and really managing things, being a good steward with your time, being a good steward with your tongue, because your tongue, being a good steward with your finances.
Yeah.
That's been, these gifts that you've been given, these talents that you're starting to get a better perspective on things. I mean, mate, I know a couple of stories that things have happened to you lately, but mate, I'd love you to share one or two things.
Yeah, well, I got into difficulty with getting paid from people.
Yeah.
I was owed quite a bit of money. It got me down. Like, basically, you helped me to do this, was to lift the phone to them and see how I can help them, how I can help them get the money. I also prayed for them, and being accountable and being there with them, it opened up more doors, and they were willing to work better with me than walking around like an angry fella with a big stone in my shoe.
Yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it? People who need people are the luckiest people in the world.
Yeah.
My God, I need you people. I work for Frank Sinatra, and it's working for Will, and that's where it comes to. How can I help people? How can we help more people, mate?
Well,
that's going to make you a better businessman.
100%. But also in my personal life, myself and my wife, like we have date nights.
Yeah.
She's my best friend. We're talking like we just have a spring in our step. We're a team.
Yeah.
We're a team now. I'm not the best at fitness. I'm trying my best at the minute. My kids are doing push-ups and sit-ups with me, and it's becoming. They just when they see me doing it, they try their best to be better than me.
Yeah.
And I love saying that,
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's what we talk about. We want to inspire out the people we love.
Yeah.
With character, with our behaviour, with our customs, with our language, with everything. But more than anything, I think it's with our actions.
Actions will speak
and
louder
you're
than
doing
words.
it, mate. Yeah. And I mean, what's the best thing, I suppose, that's come out in a family setting?
For me, the Sabbath, I I don't do anything on a Sunday now except for with my family,
Yeah.
And I never done that. And it's funny, since I've started doing it, other people have talked to me about the Sabbath, that life is too fast and they don't do things with their kids. And because of this, I'm able to hold a conversation a lot better because there's different seeds planted in my head, and I understand it a lot better now. And I think it's brilliant, I really do.
Yeah. But mate, what I think is really brilliant is that, because I believe on my heart, most men, they recognise they need to grow, they need to change, they need to develop themselves. But it's about committing and taking action, mate. And that's what you're doing. You're doing the work. You're doing the actions. So, mate, that's what's brilliant, because we've got and like we talk about with this inner circle, we've got the program with the group, but then we've got the inner circle, which is, you're accountable to me, which is just, mate, it's an honour, to be honest, and to watch you grow and change. And mate, you're making a massive difference.
Likewise, yeah, likewise.
So I suppose, mate, there's going to be other men that are going to listen to your story. And, mate, what would you say to them? Maybe they identify with where you're at or where you were.
If I was to say anything to anyone, I would say start the work straight away. Don't pussyfoot around it, and don't be scared to reach out. Any question you ask don't think it's ever a stupid question. You'll always get a decent answer off someone in these groups.
Yeah.
And don't be scared. I had, that was another problem, fear for me, and I'm slowly losing the fear of asking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, just get straight at it.
Yeah.
You know.
And mate, sometimes I'd like to ask you, like, I mean, I think I know the answer, but what I'd like for example, as we're doing that one-on-one with me, and we're doing those monthly strategy calls, getting and being accountable to me with those monthly strategy calls, and in between to make sure that we're doing the work, mate. How have you found that?
The monthly strategy calls, they actually make me see how far I've come. You know, when you're caught up in the hustle and bustle, and you, especially when you get down a little bit and think you're not doing everything right, you actually realize how far you've come.
Yeah.
Like, my appearance has totally changed.
Yeah.
In the last month or so, you know. Like, I was almost walking around like a homeless man with big bushy hair and a beard. But that's, for me, that's the key. The month meetings show you how far you've come, and it gives you drive to do better and keep doing better.
Yeah. No, mate, that's terrific, mate. And I mean, yeah, for the inner circle, those guys, we're coming to. It's not long, mate. We'll be here in. You'll be here in the Mediterranean, mate, in Gozo. So, mate, can't wait to get you over here. It's going to be awesome.
Looking forward to it.
And that's something that you need to be training for.
Yeah. I have big arms like an orangutan.
So, no, terrific, mate. No, well, mate, any last words that you want to say before we go?
Any last words? Just be honest and true to yourself, and trust this process.
Yeah.
Really do trust it. You know, the proof is in the pudding here.
Yeah. No, terrific, mate. All righty.
Thanks, Gavin.
And you guys that are watching, hey, if you encourage this guy, man, if you leave a comment, I'm sure this will be posted on YouTube. Hey, let's change the world one man at a time.